Tom Aspinall has just had his eyes gouged out on live pay-per-view, and now it's time to predict Garcia versus Onama fight night. I know, I'm not excited for this, neither are you, so let's just get straight into the predictions, shall we? So, main event, Steve Garcia versus David Onama. This is a main event in 2025 for an Apex card. Just want people to know that. But I'm going to go with Steve Garcia. I am going to go with Steve Garcia. I think his style is just a nuisance to fight. Although I do think David Onama does have a good chance. This is a very close fight. This is so close. But I do think Steve Garcia is pretty good. I've watched his style. It's really good. It's pressure, body shots, mixing it up. You know what I mean? He kind of does the Prates thing where he sets up his lead side because he is a southpaw. This is two southpaws, by the way. And he kind of uses his technically his lead side, no, his rear side as a southpaw, and he just kind of like mixes the twitching. So he's using his kicks, he's using his left hand, his teeps. It's good. And not saying David Onama can't do it. David Onama definitely can do it, but he's very basic, man. I don't know. I'm watching him fight and I'm not impressed. Like, you are number 15 ranked in the division, I believe, or something like that. Or maybe somewhere in like the 15 to 10 range. And it's just like, I'm seeing your boxing, that's pretty good, but I'm just not impressed. And maybe that's because he fought someone who's actually good in Jigatakadze, and Steve Garcia fought, I think, Qatar. And it's just like, well, obviously he's going to look better against Qatar, because Qatar's just on he's on a downward spiral, isn't he? So yeah, I'm going to go Steve Garcia, though I do think he's a safer pick. I think as well, I think he also went for a takedown, so I think he's more likely to mix the fight up if he needs to, so I think it's a safer bet to go with Steve Garcia. On to the co-main event, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ante Delija. Ante Delija's coming off a literal barrage forward using 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 and against Tybora and knocked him out. Waldo Cortez Acosta's coming off of a very shitty performance against Sergey Pavlovich where they both looked arse. So when it comes to this fight, it's like, who am I going to choose? The guy who likes to sit back and just tap his jab, his inside kick, and then, or am I going to choose the guy who's going to pretty much go forward, pressure, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and get the finish? I'm obviously going to go with Ante Delija, because that's who I'm on about here. Ante Delija's the obvious pick in this fight.
Yeah, and just another thing. Does anyone else notice that these point fighters, they find it very difficult to fight powerful fighters because they've got to be perfect for 25 minutes, or in this case 15 minutes, while the power puncher's literally just got to find one shot and have the fight over with. I've just noticed that recently with events and stuff, just thought I'd mention it. On to the next fight of the card, because who said this card is not getting better and better and better? Themba Gorimbo versus Jeremiah Wells. Jeremiah Wells is terrible. He shouldn't be in the UFC. They pretty much give Gorimbo a layup fight after his loss to Luque, and this is a layup fight. I think he's going to run straight through him. And yeah, he lost to Carlson Harris, I think his name is. That tells me enough. This is Jeremiah Wells. He lost to Carlson Harris. That tells me enough. Now on to the next fight, a very difficult fight to predict. Charles Radke versus Daniel Frinoza. I think both of these guys are good, and I think I'm going to have to edge this slightly to Charles Radke, but I am very worried, because I do think Charles Radke's he's a bit chinny, and I'm looking at like who he's lost to. Who's he lost to? Mike Mallet, powerful puncher. Carlos Prates, obviously a powerful puncher. We know this. And I'm kind of worried for him on that sake, and because Daniel Frinoza has some of the most brutal knockouts on the regional scene. Like, go watch his highlight reel. It's fucking terrifying. Yeah. I'm very worried. But the reason I'm going to go with Charles Radke is just I've simply seen more from him. I've just simply seen more from him. And although I am, like, stylistically, I should be choosing Frenosa, and it's going to be one of them ones where I'm going to be very angry with myself if when I get this one wrong now that I've chosen Radke. But yeah, I've just seen more from Radke. I think he could take this to the ground where Daniel Frenosa has lost before on the ground. But yeah, I'm very worried for Radke in this fight. Now on to the next fight, which is Alan Nascimento versus Rafael Estevam. I'm probably gonna go with Rafael Estevam purely off of the undefeated aura, but this is another hard fight to predict. This is kind of what they do. They just put all these fucking unnamed, only hardcores would know who these guys are, and just fucking chuck them in a fight together on the prelims of a fucking fight night and be like, yeah, so these guys who fucking predict the entire card have just got to look at this and be like, yeah, you can predict this one. It's a difficult one. Realistically, Alan Nascimento should probably be undefeated in the UFC. He fought Tagia and lost via split decision in Abu Dhabi. What does that tell you? I haven't watched the fight. I don't care to watch the fight, to be honest, until he's in the rankings. But yeah, it was probably a robbery, I'm assuming, if it's a split decision and it went in the way of a Dagestani. So, yeah. So it's essentially two undefeated guys in the UFC fight, and I'm going to edge it to Estevam. I am going to edge it to Estevam. I just remember watching Rafael Estevam on the prelims of some fight night, just putting some grappling clinic on some guy, some mad scrambles and just holding the back and stuff. So I reckon he'll do the same here, but this could go either way as well. Now on to the next fight. It's Billy Alaclana versus Kevin Christian. Wrong way around. And I will be going with Billy Alaclana because he's coming off a win over the Turkish Coward, and if you beat anyone who's Turkish, I'm automatically a fan as a Kurd. So yeah, as a Kurd, I am automatically rooting for you. And my retarded has just realised that for the entirety of this video, I have been recording without my microphone plugged in, or a majority of it. So I'm probably going to jump out the window because I ain't re-recording it. I cannot be bothered. But yeah, on to the next fight, which is Timmy versus Chang Ho Lee. And I will be choosing Chang Ho Lee. And I'm choosing him because I remember watching his last fight and being very impressed. I haven't rewatched it, but I remember just being really impressed and being like, you know what, that guy can go somewhere. And that's kind of a thing for me where I'm like, I'm watching these cards now and I'm like, will this guy be in the rankings in like 2 year, 3 year? And usually I'm right, but I don't think this guy will be in the rankings. But I do think he'll be a good sort of outside contender fighter, kind of like who's a good example? Like Ludovic Klein, put it that way, like a Ludovic Klein. But yeah, I think he beats this guy. This guy's only got one win in the UFC against some scrub. So yeah. Now on to Cedric Damas versus Dante Johnson. Now I'm not gonna lie, Cedric Damas is shit. He's terrible. Get him out the UFC. But something that makes me very, very happy to see is that Dante Johnson fought in August and he's already fighting in October, at the end of October. This makes me think that this guy's good, and I'm gonna go off of that because I'll be honest, I watched like the first 5 seasons of the Contender series, and then I stopped watching it. I don't know why I stopped watching it because it was really fun. I just stopped watching it. I mean, from the UK, I don't like staying up every night, especially when I've got work in the morning. You know what I mean? So it's like, and yeah, I'm choosing Dante because you should be able to beat Cedric Damas at this rate. I don't care if you're coming into the UFC, you've never been fought in the UFC, you should be able to beat Cedric Damas. That's just my opinion on it. On to the next fight, which is Caitlin Vieira versus Norma Dumont. Now, I'm not going to lie, Norma Dumont is like the only woman outside of Zhang Wei Li where you can like bet on her and have a safe bet. So I'm gonna go with Norma Dumont, and I think she's gonna win. She can do the grit down, and it's very entertaining for reasons that aren't a fight. Um, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Now on to the next fight. Phil Rowe versus fucking Korean Zombies prospect, right? I ain't saying that. He's called KO, and he was actually a KO artist, I think, or a grappler, which makes no sense. But it would have been funny if he was like some striking specialist who gets KOs and his name's KO. That would be really fun. But yeah, there's been too many examples. I don't even think Phil Rowe's bad, but I've seen him be out grappled. I've seen him be out struck, and I just watching KO in his last performance against Orban Elliott, and I know it's Orban Elliott he's very mediocre, but he gets the win, and that's kind of how I describe Orban Elliott. Phil Rowe is good, but KO, I don't know. There's something about him, man. There's something about him. People forget, man. But yeah, I just think KO's good everywhere, man. I don't know how you're going to beat this guy. Well, I do know you're going to beat this guy. You need someone who's better everywhere. But I do just think he's good everywhere. Especially his grappling is something that stands out. But yeah, he's really good, man. Now, this is the end of the video, so if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, comment your predictions for the card, and yeah, let's just hopefully wait for Islam Makhachev versus JDM, because these cards are fucking garbage. These cards, like, I'm usually very excited for even like the most mediocre UFC fight nights, but recently they've been so shit. You know what I mean? They've been so bad.